I came across this topic quite a bit last month as I was scrolling through my emails and social media. And, I just wanted to touch on briefly on, habits and what I've learned and things that I've been able to implement that has really helped me along the way in hopes that you will find it useful and applicable to your life. So let's start off with, what are habits? So habits are simply the tiny decisions we make and the actions we perform daily. So did you know in actually a Duke University study, our habits account for 40% of our behaviors on any given day. So simply put, your life today is the sum of your habits. So how fit or unfit you are, a result of your habits. How happy, unhappy you are, a result of your habits. How successful or unsuccessful you are, it's a result of your habits. What you repeatedly do ultimately forms the person you are and also what you believe. So really, when you want to perform better at anything, start with having better habits. So James Clear actually puts this way better, and I love the way he says this. He says, when you learn to transform your habits, you can transform your life. So now that we have a better understanding on habits and the important roles that they play in our lives, let's talk about breaking the bad habits. So simply put, bad habits suck. Oh my gosh. They disrupt your life. They, oftentimes stop you from accomplishing your goals. And you know what? We all have bad habits or a bad habit that, we want to eliminate right away because they're either jeopardizing our life or they're just wasting a lot of time and energy that we could use to focus on things that really elevate and move the needle for us. So I'm really not an expert in the field of habits. What I do know is that I've read, a lot of books and articles in really trying to understand and better myself in the hopes that the knowledge that I gain and from the success that I gain from it, I'll be able to share it with others along the way. So what I did learn is that really our bad habits are a result of two things. Whatever your habits are, they can fall in these two categories. It's either stress or boredom. So in high school, actually, I had a terrible nail biting habit. And really, I was an athlete my whole high school career. And I really was competitive and wanted to perform at the highest level. I was one of 4 freshmen that got selected into the first tier hockey team that's really reserved for juniors and seniors. So making the team as a freshman already was a big deal. Now, getting selected to start every single game over the veterans was a whole new other ball game. So I had this drive and need to maintain my starting position. I trained hard, I watched other players, I prayed, whatever I could do just to keep my starting position going. And the stress was severe. It was incredible that, soon my nails became that stress reliever that I needed. I was biting my nails. It was bad. It was so extreme that I barely had nails. My nail bed was practically non-existent. Fast forward college, I now have scholarships that I need to maintain. So that habit continued. I finally made the decision that I had to stop. And this was simply because I was in pain. It just hurt, just biting the nails. I researched what I could do to stop it. I had, the bitter nail polish that you could put on your nail. So when you take a bite, you just get that bitter, nasty taste in your mouth. I did the spicy version. I did Band-Aids on your nails. Literally anything that I could find, I tried it to try to stop my nail biting habit. But they all failed. And you know why? That's because I was simply addressing the symptoms and not the root causes of my nail biting. So really, our habits do not need to define us. What we need to do is that by recognizing the root and causes of our bad habits, we're taking that critical and crucial step to replacing them with better ones. So how do we break our bad habits? There are multiple ways that are suggested. So I'm just gonna give you a quick 5 that really have worked for me, and also for some people. So the first is to choose a replacement for your bad habit. So what is that one thing that you want to plan ahead, so that when you feel that urge to practice that bad habit, what is that thing that you're going to replace it with? And it doesn't have to be anything big. You can start small. If it's breathing exercises, if it's going for a walk, whatever it is you need to do to replace whatever that bad habit is, start there. The second one is to eliminate as many of your triggers as you can. Look, if you are just constantly reaching for the cookies and the bag of potato chips, don't put them on your grocery list, right? You want to eliminate that trigger, right? Create a better environment so that way you're more likely to succeed. The third one is to find a habit accountability partner. Chances are somebody that's trying to break a habit. It could be the same habit that you are trying to break, or it could be a different one. It doesn't matter. Either way, you do have a common goal of wanting to break a bad habit, right? Partner up with that person. Encourage and motivate and keep each other accountable. There's just something great to be said about the drive that you feel when you know that somebody believes in you and somebody knows that you can do this and you're helping another person. So you want to create that example. There's an African proverb that I love, and it says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So this is not a sprint, right? This is a lifestyle change. So it's a marathon. So finding that accountability partner is very critical. The fourth one is to surround yourself with people who are living, the way that you want to live. So if you want to quit smoking, let's say, it's very challenging to do if, let's say, everybody in your network smokes. Chances are you may not be able to sustain that change for a very long time. And I'm not saying, ditch your friends. That's definitely not it. But there is something, powerful to be said about finding new friends or new circles of people that understand where you are or that are where you are and can encourage you on. And then at some point, you could be a good resource for your friends that are possibly looking to quit as well. Number 5, plan for setbacks. Hey, we all slip up every now and then. Things happen. Steve Camp says it the best. He says, when you screw up, you skip an exercise, you eat bad meals, you sleep in, it doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you human. So welcome to the club. Things happen. Don't dwell on it. Don't beat yourself up on it. Plan for it, acknowledge it, and then get right back on course. Get back on course quickly. The key about the slip up is don't do it twice in a row, right? Because then you start slowly conditioning yourself again to getting back there. All right. So I just shared 5 of the ways that you could break a bad habit. And like I mentioned earlier, there are so many more out there. So right now you're probably thinking, well, what then? Where am I getting started? The best place to start is awareness. Don't feel bad about your bad habits. Basically, now that you're aware of it, use that awareness that you have to create your plan of action, right? You can ask yourself, when does my bad habit get triggered? When does it actually happen? Who am I with? Where will I be? What am I doing? How many times is it happening? What triggers these behaviors? These are questions that you can ask yourself and then track it, to see that, and then start creating that, plan of action to be able to help you replace those bad habits. I will include a simple habit tracker that you can download and just to get you started on the process. And then in the next video, we will talk about, how to build new habits. So my name is Ruth. Live your purpose. And remember, you are just one goal away. See ya.